Did you know that up to 90% of people with chronic high blood pressure are insulin resistant? And as their insulin resistance improves, their blood pressure naturally decreases? So if you're tired of relying on medications that only mask symptoms and don't actually address the root cause, stick around. Because in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you 5 steps that have been scientifically proven to lower your blood pressure naturally and potentially eliminate your need for medication. Lisinopril, also known as Zestril, is one of the most commonly prescribed drugs for hypertension. But here's the thing, it doesn't treat the root cause of high blood pressure, only the symptom. High blood pressure, or hypertension, isn't just a random condition that happens to you. It's often a symptom of underlying issues, most commonly insulin resistance. A 2014 study concluded that essential hypertension is highly associated with elevated insulin levels and insulin resistance. And this means that the key to improving your high blood pressure is improving your insulin sensitivity. Because here's the thing, high blood pressure is one of the key markers for metabolic syndrome. To have metabolic syndrome, you have to have 3 out of the 5. Metabolic syndrome is also known as insulin resistance syndrome. And that is why I can so confidently say that these 5 symptoms have insulin resistance as their underlying cause in most cases, especially if you have multiple of them. So let's dive into 5 ways you can improve your insulin sensitivity naturally that have been proven to help reduce blood pressure. Step 1 is to stop snacking. Every time you eat, your body releases insulin to help process that food. But if you're constantly snacking, you're keeping your insulin levels elevated all day. Well, why does this matter? Chronically high insulin levels lead to insulin resistance, which is a major driver for high blood pressure. Elevated insulin levels also promote inflammation and weight gain, both of which can exacerbate hypertension. So what you want to do is stick to 2 to 3 meals per day and skip the snacks. Prioritize protein at these meals and make sure you're getting at least 30 grams, ideally 40 or 50 grams. Also make sure you are including a healthy fat source at every meal to keep you fuller for longer. These macronutrients help to stabilize blood sugar levels, reducing the likelihood of insulin spikes and cravings between meals. Now, if you're hungry in between meals, first off, consider whether you're actually hungry or if you're just bored. If you're truly hungry, that's a sign that you probably didn't eat, number 1, enough protein at that meal, so increase your protein next time, or number 2, enough fat. Not only will this help you to regulate your insulin, but you're going to feel more satisfied in between your meals and have less of an urge to snack. And this simple change alone can have a huge impact on your insulin and in turn your blood pressure. Small frequent meals are not the solution. Eat bigger meals and eat less frequently. Step 2 is to be mindful of your carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are the macronutrient that requires the most insulin to process. A high carb diet can spike your insulin levels and contribute to insulin resistance over time. When you consume too many carbohydrates, especially refined ones like white bread, pasta, and sugary snacks, your body struggles to keep up with the demand for insulin production. Over time, this can lead to insulin resistance. And as a side effect, high blood pressure. This happens because it narrows the blood vessels. A 2019 study found that participants who followed a low-carb diet for 10 to 32 months saw significant improvements in blood pressure and a 21.5% reduction in the need for hypertension medications. And just imagine the impact this could have on your long-term health. Now, this doesn't mean you have to eliminate carbohydrates entirely. I am a big advocate for being smart about carbs if you aren't ready to reduce them. Ideally, you want to stay under 100 grams per day. Even better if you can stay under 50, but under 100 I think is very achievable for most people. And when you do eat carbs, try to focus on primarily whole food carbs. I'm talking unprocessed carbs like vegetables, berries, and some nuts, which provide nutrients and fiber without causing huge insulin spikes. And every small swap you make adds up and can make a big difference over time. Step 3 is to prioritize sleep. Poor sleep can increase your blood pressure the next day, and chronic sleep deprivation has been shown to increase the risk of hypertension. During sleep, your body undergoes critical processes that help to regulate stress hormones and repair blood vessels. Without adequate rest, your blood pressure remains elevated, increasing the strain on your heart. Now, one of the biggest factors that impacts our sleep is light exposure, especially blue light from our screens. Blue light suppresses melatonin, the hormone that helps you fall asleep. Over time, this disruption can lead to sleep debt and chronic insomnia, both of which negatively impact blood pressure. And that's where the sponsor of today's video, Bon Charge, comes in. They offer a range of products designed to help you optimize your sleep, including blue light blocking glasses to protect your eyes in the evening and help your body naturally produce melatonin, red light bulbs to create a calming, sleep-friendly environment in your home. Red light has been shown to support relaxation and melatonin production, and sauna blankets that help you relax and unwind before bed. Elevating your body temperature 1.5 hours before you plan on going to sleep has been proven to help you fall asleep faster and get more restful sleep. These tools can be game changers for improving your sleep and in turn your overall health. Head to healthcoachkate.com/bondcharge to check them out. I'll put that link in the description box down below as well. And make sure to use code HCK15 at checkout to save 15% off your order. Some other ways to improve your sleep include sticking to a consistent bedtime and wake time, creating a nighttime routine that signals your body it's time to wind down, and making sure your bedroom is the right temperature. Step number 4 is to eat more salt. And this might come as a shock, but consuming a low sodium diet can actually increase your blood pressure. When your sodium intake is too low, your kidneys release a hormone called renin, which raises blood pressure to compensate. This is your body's way of trying to maintain balance. Now, for decades, we have been told that we need to limit salt if we want to bring our blood pressure down. But new research suggests that this advice may not apply to everyone. In fact, about 80% of people with normal blood pressure don't experience any significant increase to blood pressure when they consume more salt. Instead, the real issue here is processed food, but the sodium in it takes the blame. Dr. James DiNicolantonio, a cardiovascular research scientist, recommends that people consume between 3,000 to 6,000 milligrams of sodium per day. The key is to get your sodium from high-quality salt, rather than processed food. Here's how to incorporate more salt into your daily routine. Sprinkle a pinch of sea salt on all of your meals. Add a small amount to your water, especially if you're following a low-carb diet, which causes depletion of sodium levels. And use a high-quality electrolyte supplement to ensure you're getting balanced intake of sodium, potassium, and magnesium. I'm sure you've heard me talk about it before, but I really love Sodi's everyday hydration salts. By ensuring you're getting enough salt, you can lower renin levels and support healthy blood pressure naturally. And finally, step number 5 is to use vinegar before your meals. If you're eating a higher carb meal, then there's a simple hack that can help you reduce its impact on your blood pressure. And that's taking 1 tablespoon of vinegar diluted in water before you eat. Apple cider vinegar is the most popular choice, but any vinegar works. And here's why. Vinegar increases the speed at which your muscles absorb glucose, reducing the need for insulin. Lower insulin levels mean better blood pressure control. One study found that participants who took 1.5 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar before a high-carb meal were up to 34% more insulin sensitive an hour after eating compared to those who didn't. Like I said, these small changes can have a big impact over time. So to recap, here are the 5 steps you can take to lower your blood pressure naturally. Number 1 is to stop snacking and reduce your meal frequency to keep your insulin levels low. The second is to be mindful of carbohydrate intake. The third is to prioritize sleep and manage your light exposure. The fourth is to eat more high-quality salt to reduce renin levels and support healthy blood pressure. And the final way is to use vinegar before meals to improve your insulin sensitivity. High blood pressure is not a life sentence. Like I said, it's not a condition, but rather a symptom. If you can address the root cause, you can potentially eliminate your need for medication. Now, I want to hear from you guys in the comment section down below. Do you currently have high blood pressure? Are you on any medication for it? If you currently have high blood pressure or you've had it in the past, what have you done that has brought it down? I love hearing from you guys. I love hearing what's worked and what hasn't. So anything you want to share, leave it down below. Thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.